Hello everyone. I think it is better to divide them chapter by chapter or sub chapters, so we can more easily check what we are doing. Okay. In in the class that we discussed, actually online lecture, um, I just give you how we can make input in Java, but I just wanted to be make a record and give more explanation related with that. So actually, as you see, that scanner class that I showed you, it is not easy like we are printing in C++, or it is not also easier in scanning. I mean, reading something like in C++ or not like in C as well. But this is how Java doing it. Um, Also, like we are using the subroutine system out print, um, we have an object system.out belongs to system class. And similarly, we have an object system.in that we are calling it from system class as well. But we are not using it so much, and it is provides only very primitive input facilities, and also some advanced Java programming skills. So we are not going to use it for now. Um, Also, there are some other classes, for example, scanner class that we are going to use. Although it is requires some knowledge of object-oriented programming, but we are going to use it. Also, Java 6 introduced console class, uh, but um, to be honest, I only used scanner class before in my programs. I didn't use console before, so I don't have any idea about it. But in the class has some the book author just says that it has some problems. Um, so just I want to talk about it because it's better to know why we are using it. I just show you and I didn't say anything. Also, the author of the book, author of this book, is written a class named Text.io, um, which it is just importing it in the beginning, uh, this like that, and then you can just use it like text.io dot get in get line integer, for example, like this. But for now, I I believe that it is better for us to use scanner. So just note it that there is this kind of options, but for now we are going to use scanner. Let's find it because it is we have to skip some pages. using scanner for input. Uh, so just oppositely from text IO, um, scanner has an advantage that it is a standard part of Java. So you don't need to make an import or something like that because Java scanner is defined in the package java.util. So you have to add this import in this case. Okay, and then you have to include the following statement at the beginning of your main routine. This one, scanner set standard in new scanner system.in. This is a anyway. Let me to continue. This creates a variable named standard in of type scanner. So I was trying to say that, but it is better to read it. You can use a different name for the variable if you want. So it is just a short of standard input. So you can use another variable name. Um, you can use std in your program to access a variety of subroutines for reading user input. For example, the function stdin.nextInt reads one value of type int from the user and returns it. So this is importing. We are saying that we are going to use this variable, this scanner class. Here we are just create the variable as stdin, and for this one we are just reading it. And also there are some corresponding methods like reading double, reading long, reading boolean, like that. So here we can see it better how it works. As you see, we just import it first, and here we just created the scanner, and here we are reading it, whatever user enters, like that. So actually, it is not a hard thing to do it, but why we are using this like that, I will explain in next lecture. Actually, we are doing three things for scanning. Okay, let's give an example related with that. Okay. Also, I just wanted to show you this compiler online gdb.com. If you look for Java, you can easily find this compiler. Um, why I'm showing you this? Because for the beginning, you don't need to have any compiler or IDE installed to your computer. Of course, it is better to do it, but this is a very practical compiler. Also, some of the compilers is just allowing you to uh, run your program, but you can't give input. Here, it is also allowing you to enter input. So this is a very big advantage of uh, online GDB. So I just put an example here, um, as you see, to show that we are going to use this scanner class. Just import it from YouTube, and here, as you see, instead of set std in, there's another name, so it doesn't matter. This is just the name of the object that you created. So so here we imported, here we created the object, and here, actually, here we just read what is it written. So here we are reading the next line. I mean, we are reading the line, whatever it is written. So let's run it. Okay, we actually I run it, I think, before I show you. So what is the program function? Let me to check it. It is just printing enter username. Then it is waiting for the user to write a name, and it will just print after that username is, just it will print whatever I will write here. So let's say username is Umut, and it will print username is Umut. So it is a simple example to show how you can work with scanner class. Okay, let's continue. Okay, here in 2.5, I will try to explain the details of expressions. So here, better to read some of them. So what was an expression? First of all, it is a piece of program code that represents or computes a value. So um, so an expression can be a literal, uh, so-called constant, a variable, a function call, or several of these things combined with operators such as plus or bigger than. So the value of an expression can be assigned to a variable used as a parameter in a subroutine call, or combined with other values into more complicated expression. So Um, Here it is showing the expressions as literals. As you know, it is constant values. Um, Recall that a function is a subroutine that returns a value. You are already seen some examples of functions such as uh, the mathematical functions from the maths class, for example. So the math class also contains a couple of mathematical constants that are useful in mathematical expressions such as math.p. So when you write math.p, it will just put you the value p like that. So to remind you, their values are in double. So integer constants, a couple of constants related to the int data type, as you know. So also, if you write something like that, it will put you the largest possible integer. Of course, this value can be changed according to the compiler. And also, because sometimes, for example, in old compilers, they were arranging two uh, bytes for an integer, but the new ones are arranging 4 bytes. So also integer minimum value is the smallest integer, this one. So it is same for double max, double min. For example, double none, dot none represents an undefined value. For example, the value of square root of -1 is double none, so is undefined. So, literals, variables, and function calls are simple expressions. So more complex expressions can be built up by using operators to combine simpler expressions, like adding two numbers bigger than, comparing, something like that. So when several operators appear in an expression, there's a question of precedence. Which one will be calculated first? So here it is very simple one. You know that multiplication is higher precedence than addition. So you can just think that while writing a program or while uh, tracing it. Okay, so arithmetic operators, as you know, include addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These are the symbols. It can be done in any numeric type. Also, when the computer actually calculates one of these operations, the two values that it combines must be of the same type. If your program tells the computer to combine two values of different types, the computer will convert one of the values from one type to another. For example, like that, to compute 37.4 plus 10, the computer will convert the integer 10 to a real number 10.0, and then we compute this number like that. So this is called type conversion. This is a property of Java. And you don't need to worry about type conversions because the computer does it automatically. Okay, when two numerical values are combined, the answer will be the same type. If you multiply two integers, you will get an integer. If you multiply two doubles, you will get a double, as you know. But here in division operator, we have just an expression. For example, when you divide two integers, the answer will be always an integer. But if the quotient has a fractional part, it is discarded. It means here, if, for example, uh, 3 divided by 2, and you want the answer in integer, the answer will be not 1.5, it will be 1. So this is trying to say. Okay. Java also has an operator for computing the remainder when one number is divided by another. By the way, this book is just things that the readers have no, knowledge. Of course, we are just going fast, but it is not because of it is not assuming that you don't know any programming language. It is just explaining everything like it is a Java property. But as you know, it is for all programming languages. This division and this modulus. So as you know, modulus gives the remainder. So if A is 10, B is 3, the result will be 1 as a remainder. 10 divided by 3, uh, it will just remains 1 from this division. But here, there are some different things like regular mathematics. For example, if A or B is negative, the value of A modulus B is negative. Um, Also, I saw another interesting thing. Of course, as you know, when we are using it, test if an integer is even or odd. As you know, we are using this modulus frequently. Also, I don't know this property is in C or C++. The modulus operator also works with real numbers. So normally in maths, we are just dividing two integers. I don't remember if I tried to take the modulus of two real numbers, but in general, A modulus B is what is left over after you remove as many copies of B as possible from A. For example, 7.52 modulus 0.5 is 0.02. I don't know where we can use it, but this is just an information for you. Okay, Also, you might need the unary minus operator, which takes the negative of a number. For example, minus x has the same value as minus 1 multiplied by x. Of course, there are plus x, but it is not just doing anything, no difference.